Hi, welcome to Taxes Saved Review. Well, I'm excited to launch Taxes Saved Review, and I want to ask you to go to taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com. In fact, there's an on-demand webinar that many of you have given great positive feedback on that addresses both those of you working that are high income earners and you're still wanting to save taxes this year, as well as those of you that are retired that are trying to figure out how to have more of your retirement income not as taxing. Go to taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com. Click. As soon as you go into the site, you're going to see a red square with a white arrow. Click it, and you'll learn 2 tax savings case study strategies at your fingertips, right? Imagine tax saving strategies at your fingertips on demand. So it's an on-demand educational webinar. It lasts about 30 minutes, 20 minutes of it or so are the case studies. One's really exciting for a couple that's using the tax savings that they didn't know that they were giving away, basically, the tax risk road they were on, learning how to redirect that risk back into the return of that tax going and staying with them, that now they're actually moving up their retirement as a result of now finding ways to save that in what we'll call tax advantage Roth alternatives, but by first redirecting the otherwise unnecessary taxes that they learned that they no longer needed to pay. The other one is and that was about $240,000, folks. The other case study is for a couple that was just very concerned about the future required minimum distributions that they're facing very soon. And they wanted to Roth convert while we have a pro-low tax president in President Trump in his last administration, right, his last term, to that while there's time, and many times, they were told, well, you don't need to do Roth conversion, blah, blah, blah. They were actually able to learn how to Roth convert $1 million of their IRAs to Roth just in 1 year alone, and used approved IRS deductions that have been around the tax code since the 1950s to use the deductions to offset preventing the tax liability on that Roth IRA, those Roth IRAs being converted, IRAs to Roth. Folks, you work hard for your money. Go to taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com. In the book, The New Holistic Retirement that you see, this has now been updated with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And what I'd like for you to do, in simple instructions, go to taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com. And especially if you're serious about still wanting to save taxes in 2025, while the strategies are still able to be alive, so to speak, and you say alive, what do you mean? There's limitations to inventory. Inventory doesn't last forever. We ran out of inventory on a couple of the key strategies right around September, October last year. Very customary. Software as a service. We're talking real estate. We're talking heavy equipment. We're talking exclusive film access. And this is the exciting part, folks. There is still time, but you've got to act, because most of these strategies, you have to not only learn them, but then by being educated on them, sitting with our tax team of 22 CPAs that are proactive in supporting that, then it's actually the implementation of that to still make sure that this can all be done while they're still alive, so to speak, of these strategies being still alive in 2025. So go to taxessaved.com, watch the webinar, but if you want to be really proactive, just go to the site, scroll all the way to the bottom, and request a saving tax optimization plan analysis. This is a complimentary analysis to learn the tax risk road that you're on. But that way you're locking in a time, because what happens is there's only a number of people that you can take on as new tax clients and still have time to get that in before the end of the year. So if you're a high income earner, whether it's W-2 or self-employed, a lot of you W-2 folks, I think of a couple we helped this last week that she was like, wow, I've been put back on W-2. I don't have as much deductions. And do these strategies work for W-2? Yes. Self-employed W-2 and retirees. And if you're retired and you're kind of sick and tired of like the exposure to the taxes, your Medicare tax, your high Social Security percentage, your Social Security is getting taxed because your income's coming from these accounts that have never been taxed, like your former 401ks and IRAs. You want to learn to get those protected from tax, like Roth IRA or Roth IRA alternatives. Folks, slide down to the bottom, click the request for a saving tax optimization plan analysis, and then go back and watch the on-demand educational webinar that'll take you about 30 minutes, because I want to educate you. And for those that do that, I want to gift you the book, The New Holistic Retirement, that's now been updated with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. I did the forward in this book. I think it's an outstanding book, and I'm going to emphasize pages 49 to 86, all about tax, how taxes have changed in retirement, and the legislative tax risk that most people don't realize. The Roth IRA and the ability to Roth convert to a Roth IRA is not potentially going to be here forever, folks. Taxessaved.com, taxessaved.com.